Hi guys and welcome. This is the fourth piece of the Angel series. It's somewhat similar to the previous ones, but still different. I tried a lot of sketches and this one I like the most, so I started painting. I had a lot of trouble with the anatomy. The only thing I was certain of was that I wanted to be green and dark. During the process, I changed the face. In the sketch, there were two masks on the side of her face, and she fed them with some dark magic. I kinda messed up the early painting phase by wanting too much at once. I tried to do everything at the same time instead of building it up gradually, which gave me a headache. The hip area was another challenge I couldn't figure out, and I actually cut about half an hour from the video because I don't think that hopeless trial was worth watching. But in the end, I found a solution. So during the process, I changed the two masked faces into one iron helmet. I was inspired by bats, which influenced the helmet design as well as the weapon design. Placing the character in the world helps to come up with the design, and creating her lore helps to understand the character more. She's wearing a helmet with no holes to see through, and that's a design choice. This angel is banished to the underworld, a world of darkness. The thing is, when you don't use something like your muscles or your brain for solving puzzle, it gets weaker, because the body receives the message that those parts are not in use, so they don't need to develop. It's a use it or lose it situation. She wears a helmet and never take it off. She will never see light again. She accepts this. And with this acceptance, she immediately starts developing her other senses, which she needs to survive. She makes a choice and a promise. She's not just giving up her vision, but also her hope of one day escaping to the surface and seeing birds flying in the sky. She needs to change. She needs to do anything to survive in the underworld, where hungry monsters are always looking for prey. After months passed, she found a weapon, and with this weapon there was a crystal. With her power, she could light her up, and in this dark place, the weapon became deadly. However, there was a limit to how long she could keep the crystal illuminated. Even so, she kept her promise not to remove the helmet. At this point, the light would hurt her as well, distracting her other senses and making her vulnerable. The strong light was the greatest weapon against the monsters. And as the cliché goes, light defeats darkness. That little light had such a significant impact that, without realizing it, she created a balance in the underworld. The balance of dark and light. A balance that is the answer to most questions. Creating it was one thing. Maintaining this balance was what kept challenging her over and over. As the years went by, her sense of sight was no longer even a memory. Her life is something we cannot imagine. The balance led to something else. The hierarchy among the monsters of the underworld. The monsters hide and fear her. Their circle of life started to collapse because of her presence. There was a huge empty space at the core of the underworld, which they called the stomach. It was the center of this world. She gathered the monsters, tested them, and ranked them. She created a society for the monsters and for herself. She was the leader, and the strongest monsters earned the rank of captain. It was the beginning of something else as well. They began to survey the underworld, looking for hidden gates or something that could lead them to the surface. In the armory, the monsters also received iron helmets, preparing to protect their eyes against the light that awaits them on the surface. She knew the enemy. Angels who used light magic, believing they were cleansing the wrath from this world. She will prove them wrong. The wrath was just beginning to spread.